Hey, what's up, everybody? HTG Brian back with some more Funko Fusion. Next up, we got The Thing, Level 2, Bark in the Dark, Fun Play. No trophy achievements found in this video, however, we do scour around, take out a big boss, get all of the collectibles and things, including 30,000 vinyl for that vinyl tube. So because there is a lot of prep work and a big boss battle that you probably already know how to do, we're going to remind you we got quick links down below in the video description. But here we are in the Funko Factory Hub after finishing the Shaun of the Dead level. We've got Shaun out still, and he looks a little underdressed for the tundra. So we're going to actually recommend you switch on over to Childs, as he's going to be extremely helpful as far as taking down the big boss, which does have 3 phases. We're going to go ahead and show you the quickest and easiest way that we found. After a quick look at the collectibles, we'll jump right into a cutscene. Oh. Huh? As soon as we grab control of our character here, we're going to want to smash and grab a bunch of vinyl just to go ahead and stack things up. Not only do we need the 30K for the vinyl tube, but we also need that 5 million overall for the trophy achievement. So we're continuously going to recommend you smash and grab, as we are well over the halfway point of the levelage. And okay, flip the switch and head out to the left and follow the sounds of the dogs, which are over in the kennel, which we've played this level before, so we know right where to go. And as soon as you enter, it's going to actually cue us another quick cutscene. All right, we're officially in battle mode here. We're going to recommend you use the environment as always and stand right outside the cage, taking out the big dog there. And a couple little dogs will spawn, so be aware of that. Once you get from white to orange to red, it should give us some X's on the big guy. That's going to indicate that the 3 medium-sized dogs are going to need a little bit of flamage. So that's why we recommended Childs. It's much easier than using the old gas canisters, which can be used as well. But then you repeat the process. Go outside the cage, hit him till he goes to the X's, melt down one of the medium-sized dogs, run right outside the cage again, and take out that schmedium guy. Now, he's going to do some ground pounds as well. There's a few different attacks you got to be aware of here, but just keep on shooting and jumping, melt down that third doggo, and it should transition us into the next phase of the boss battle once we take out the schmedium dog. There we go. All right, so we're officially making our way in. He's going to go fade to dark. Now, we're not totally sure that hitting him while it fades to dark does any damage, but we're going to go ahead and do it anyways. Next up, we got the double heads here. We're going to actually focus on the one that's puking all over the place, because as soon as he's done, there's going to be a short window where there's a little bit of a pulsing red circle around him, and that's going to indicate we need to hit him while that's happening. You usually only get 2 to 3 shots in before it transitions to the other head, and then back and forth and forth and back. So just go ahead and try to stay vigilant and ready to go ahead and attack those sweekles when they present themselves. Now, the green dogs are going to have a little bit of an exploding acid that you could actually take quite a bit of damage from. It also transforms you into like a little bit of a zombie, so be careful with that. All right, we made it through that phase. That was pretty quick and easy. Next up, there are all of these tentacly-like things that we need to hit here. Each one can take 2 to 3 shots depending on how much damage occurs when you hit them or how far away you are. So you can see some of them are taking 3s, some of them are 30s, 40s. I even had a 70 in there at one point. So definitely got to just focus on those. Now, we got a little bit of a cheat mode here in a second. Once we get all of the tentacles done, we can actually run to either the left or the right side, and that big old swanging thing out front won't hit us when we're in the left or right corners. But of course, in order to do the damage with the flamethrower, we have to take out all of these glowing little eyes. So we almost got him done dead. We got 2 more, looks like 1 more. Oh, and once he starts glowing red, we recommend you run to the side and just start hitting him with the flamethrower. Now, it's a bunch of 1s at first for some reason, but it eventually transitions and starts giving us, there you go, a little bit more. We got 15s now. It's going through the colored text, and it should be about done. We got a couple of loose doggos. Take them out, and oh, wait, we got to go back for more. Apparently, we weren't done. It went to the red X. And back at it we are. I believe that is it. You will know when you officially take them down when that fun key pops up on the floor, which we'll go ahead and swoop up and make our way out of the kennel. On the way out, make sure you grab yourself a free soda, cuz who doesn't like a free soda? Be really careful about those gas canisters too. We're going to actually use those for some pretty big preppage here in a minute. But outside the kennel, we're going to hang a left and go down the hallway and find ourselves a security camera. Go ahead and activate that. Move your camera over to the far left side of the door. Follow that power and it should open up. And inside, we're going to go ahead and, you guessed it, use the mold machine that is now here. We're going to make ourselves a black light and place it on the black X just over here by the number 5 teleportation point. Once you activate it, you should find a single point of interest which reveals a code, 52314. Now, if you've ran around in this level at all trying to find collectibles, you might have noticed there's some switches scattered throughout that have numbers on them. So we're going to actually go out into the main hallway, and as we do, the door at the end here opens up, and a couple of doggos want to come and chase us, so we're going to take them down first, otherwise they'll follow us all the way down this hall, giving us some trouble. And once we get to the end of the hallway, there should be a right-hand turn that we take. That's right, when you get to the green cosmic door, take a right, and on the wall should be switch number 1. Well, technically it's number 5, but it's the first one we need to flip. So again, 52314 was our code. We're going to run all the way back to the kennel now. And on the left side of it, outside the kennel, there is another switch. We're going to flip that bad boy, which happens to be the next one. Should be number 2. Ironically, it is also the second switch we flip, so that works out as far as that goes. Booyakashow. All right, so keep in mind, too, if you accidentally flip it back or you hit something else or pick something else up, it might opt to change back to 0, so be careful, especially when opening this up. You don't want to use that triangle button to accidentally miss that cube or orb that popped out there. But we're going to flip that switch, which was number 3. Next up, we got a 1 in the hallway. And look at that. Behind some boxes is literally number 1. So flip that. And then go right to the red mold machine and take a right. And inside this room, it's like a fun room, we're going to find the final switch. Once you flip it, if you did it right, there should be a cool little sound that happens in the background. Now we're going to make our way back to the character swap box just to the right of the kennel and switch on over to number 5. Number 5 is going to give us that ability to use that teleportation point on the ground and get through the wall in the room where we molded the black light and found the code to begin with. This will actually take us to the other side, which will now reveal a chest. Had you have not solved that puzzle, there would have been a wall here preventing you from getting into this room. So we got it done dead, and we got our first silver crown. Woo to the hoo-hoo-hoo. All right, so this next portion of the video is a little ridiculous, if you ask me, but I know you didn't. But we're going to go ahead and hop in the character swap box and switch over to somebody with some speed. So Starbuck is our choice, obviously. And we'll go ahead and run over and start grabbing some of these propane tanks. Now, once you get outside the building, it is rather frosty, and there are some flares on the ground that give you the ability to travel from point A to point B. However, we need to extend this a little bit, and since they don't have a flare available in the old mold machine, we have to find ourselves some creativity here. So once outside, too, there will be some dogs attacking you, so make sure you take them out, and be very careful not to get outside of the lit areas of the flares. Otherwise, you might find yourself getting frozen in place and having to go respawn and maybe pay a bunch of vinyl, which nobody likes to do that. So we're going to go back in and use another gas canister. Now, fun fact, we're going to actually use 6 canisters in total. And although this can probably be done with some luck and some trickery, if you really know what you're doing without these canisters, we're going to go ahead and recommend that you use them. So again, you want to stay within the realm of the flares and or the gas canisters. Once you shoot it once, or twice for that matter, it will light up a circle, giving us a little bit of heat, preventing us from freezing. Now, if you hit it a third time, keep in mind that it will explode the gas canister, and you'll have to mold yourself another one, costing you some more vinyl. So be very careful. We try to recommend hitting it only once, just in the event that if you accidentally make a mistake, you might hit it twice. And it's also should be noted that you actually can catch yourself on fire, too, with these things. So be careful. So the placement is kind of important, so try and follow. You can see I linked these 2 circles together, and that should get us to that flare down that pathway over there. But again, if you step outside of that light, it's not going to be good for anybody. So We're going to go run back in and grab number 4 here. So, as I mentioned earlier, there are quick links down below in the video description if you've already got this silver crown, or maybe perhaps you didn't need it or don't want it. Now, there's some possibility that the speed cola might be able to help you get through there, but we didn't want to risk the biscuit, so we're going to go ahead and place this just to make it the safe way, right? The safe way. All right, so that's what, 4 of them now down? We're going to run back. There should be a couple in the hallway here, too. So, all in all, they've actually put 6 of them out for us, which makes me feel like this was kind of the developer's intention. Now, if you got a different way, please drop a comment down below and share it with me and others, because definitely this is a pain in the tuchus. But we're going to need to get from gas canister to that flare over there, because the chest is actually on top of the roof. Now, you're probably wondering, well, how do we unlock it? Well, it turns out we also need to use a guitar-wielding character so that we can go ahead and shatter some glass as well. So we're going to switch on over to Scott Pilgrim, because he is the base character for that, and we're going to mold ourselves. Well, we're going to start with a bounce pad. Now, you're probably wondering, wait a minute, you just said guitar character, Brian, why are you molding the bounce pad? Well, the reason for this is to get up on top of that building, we need to bounce our way up there. So, basically, we're setting it all up so that we can do the run all in one go. Once we get this bounce pad into place, we're going to go ahead and grab that guitar amp and make our way around shattering the glass, and I got some tips and tricks for that as well. Now, another tip is if you find yourself dropping it just like that, look at that, it was like a magic trick, wasn't it? We recommend using the L2 or the left trigger, whichever button it is for the console you're on, to go ahead and push it out. You can kind of design it or drop it in a way that is not just like dropping it at your feet. You can kind of place it and throw it out there. So definitely recommend doing that. For us, it was the left trigger on our PlayStation 5, and it should be something very similar for you. Now, we're also going to recommend a speed cola. Now, I know I mentioned this earlier that you might be able to run through some of the darker, colder patches with the speed cola, but that's actually not the main reason. The main reason is because by the time we get to the end and shatter all the glass, because there are 4 pieces of glass that need shattering, we're going to be at the other end, and there isn't a very convenient character swap box to get to a speed character, which is normally what we would do for a 4-lever puzzle, which is in fact what this is. After we shatter 4 pieces of glass, we have 4 levers to flip, and we got to do it in a quick amount of time. So for the first time in our series, we're actually using a speed cola. I don't think we've used one. Well, maybe in the very early Jurassic World, but I don't even remember. That's been a long time ago. So we're going to have to drop this close in front of the glass. We're going to hit it once to go ahead and flip it to the yellow side. And once we do, we'll go ahead and hit it with some guitar plucks and booyakashow. The first one is done. Now, again, if there are some stretches of darkness or maybe you didn't get it quite overlapping like we did, even right there, see, I barely stepped outside and it made me drop it, and it's kind of hard to recoup it. Like, if you drop it too far, you might have to go and respawn a new one. Now, in this case, the blastage actually goes quite a bit further than you would expect. So you don't have to get right up on top of it. Make sure you're staying within the light, otherwise you're going to drop it. And like I said, you might have to spawn another one or mold another one. And I definitely recommend trying to be further away than closer, just so you don't have to worry about risking the biscuit. All right, this one too, like look how far away I am. I drop it, I'm gonna go ahead. Oh, it's not active because it's in the cold. That's something else to be aware of too. If you place it in a dark spot, it might not work at all for you. So I actually stretched it out and dropped it on the other side. And while we're out here, let's go ahead and place the fun key in place so we don't have that exclamation mark distracting us. And this one's kind of tricky too. We recommend jumping and rolling to get across that dark patch and following the building side wall to get over here. Now we're going to gulp this speed soda. We're going to flip the switch and turn around and jump over and through the cold here. See, I barely made it, but that speed soda, I think, helped me get through. So you might be able to avoid placing all those, but we didn't want to risk it. So we're going to go ahead and flip all 4 switches, starting with the one on the wall where we finished the shattering, and then making our way all the way back to where we first shattered. And if you did it in time, it looked like we had a couple of seconds left. We should be able to follow our path up and over, hit that bounce pad that we placed, and booyakashow! Got another silver crown. So that was by far the most ridiculous one we've had in a while. And now we're going to make our way back inside and take out a few of these eagles. I did some Googling. I don't know much about it, but it's Salty the Eagle. Apparently there is a real Funko Pop that you can collect that actually is this salty guy. So I'm not sure what the story behind him is. If you know, drop some comments down below. That would be helpful in future. So, well, I don't think we'll see Salty again, but it'd be nice to know what's going on. All right, so as we entered the building again, there was a couple on shelves, one under a desk, and the fourth one is going to be inside the kennel where we fought the big boss. Next up, we're going to actually use the character swap box to go ahead and toggle over to a different character. Whoops, not you, Starbuck. We'll be back for you in a minute. I got a little excited there, and back in we go. We're going to go ahead and switch to Freddy Funko. Remember that green door at the end of the hallway? We're going to go ahead and melt that down in a hot second. But first, let's go back in where we were finding that Salty under the desk, and behind this little board over here, the chalkboard, there's going to be a Foxxo body part. So let's swoop that up real quick. And then there's also a brown box with some gold. That's right, we got some gold orbage out of it. But we're going to hop on the old skateboard and skate all the way to the end of the hallway and take down this door, which is going to reveal a new room where we will find a silver crown. This one is actually found by taking out a destroy all baddies. So be aware that once you activate this chest here, it's going to spawn some bad guys. Now yours will likely look different than the ones that spawn for us, but I did find it pretty consistent between our PC version and our PS5 version that it was mainly just the doggos. So that could be a thing for the thing. See what I did there? And of course, once we take out 4 or 5 of these guys, it should give us that glorious sound of success and remove the purple goo from the chest. And we'll go ahead and flip it open and collect Silver Crown number 3. All right, so we're moving right along. Of course, lots of things to smash and grab some vinyl from. And we're getting up there. We got 41K. We want to make sure that we have some beyond the 30,000 because it's my understanding, like I keep mentioning, that that doesn't count towards your 5 million. Whatever you finish the level with counts towards the 5 million, but I think you have to have, like, it doesn't give us credit for those. So, all right, in the room to the first hallway to the left, under a desk is another Salty. So we've got 5 of the 10 down, and now we're going to go to the next room and find number 6. So out we go to the right across the hallway. In the little cubicle up on top of a refrigerator is going to be number 6. Again, more things to smash and grab. And of course, we're going to make our way out. And next up is Salty the Eagle number 7, which there are a bunch of bathroom stalls. And on the far left side is going to be the interesting point because there's number 7. Woo to the who. All right, so now turn around and inside the showers on the ground is going to be Silver Crown number 4. So quickly making light work of this level. And into the next room we go. We're going to find a bunch more things to smash, including Salty number 8 laying on the bunk bed on the lower one of the left-hand side as you enter the, I guess it's the sleeping quarters. They all have matching sheets or covers. I find that kind of funny, but it is what it is. All right, now back out down the hallway. We're going to find ourselves a brown chest and another doorway on the left. Inside, there's going to be a lot of food. In fact, it looks like they ordered some Chinese to go. Am I mistaken? It looks like a lot of little to-go boxes. But on top, in a very tricky spot along the piping, is going to be a KFC bucket. So somebody was stashing that for later, I think. They were tired of the Chinese food. I don't know. There's some burgers in there, too. Maybe I just got it wrong. It looked like some to-go boxes from, you know. But anyways, in the back corner, behind the right-hand table, is going to be Salty number 9. So we are making good ground on that. Only one left. Now, down the hallway to the left, we're going to run right by the old red mold machine and go into what I like to think is the activity room, kind of the party room. We're going to jump on this pool table here, and you might notice there are a couple of bells or these pinkish, purpley, I don't know, glowing bits. If you hit them in the right order, which is left, right, middle, it should reveal this doorway here and give us access to a red orb. We're going to grab that and slam it in the old mold machine here right outside, which is perfect placement. Thank you for making that easy, 1010. And back in we go. Now, on the far right side, there's a couple of like little refrigerators. Smashing the blue one actually gives us access to a laser crystal. So we're going to place that onto the little machine there and skate our way back to the character swap box and switch to somebody with a, well, we're actually going to go mold ourselves a bat tray first. We're going to but we're going to need a laser-wielding character as well, and I should have grabbed it right now, but unfortunately, like a dummy, I ran by it. We're going to slam that in there and charge it up. This would have been a good time to go swap over to Starbuck as well, but of course, I brain farted, or Brian farted as we call it. Now, I had an incident here. This was weird, and there is a little bit of an edit. I placed it in here, which gives that spinning laser crystal point its power and allows it to spin around. But when I got back and I pulled it out, the battery was dead, and I had to recharge it. So rather than make you watch all of that, I just wanted to make note of it. The goal is to pull the battery when it's aimed right at the laser pad. Go ahead and shoot through, and look at that. It should reveal this chest, giving us another silver crown. Now, in the back corner, under the pineapple and watermelon, is going to be salty number 10. Now, if you've got all the ones as we got them, it should reveal the location at the far end of the outside area. In fact, it's a little tricky in how you get there because there is not a lot of lit space, but we've got a nice little trick for you. So we're going to follow the lit up spots on the ground here where the flares are. And we're going to do this jump and dive. Yep, well, I guess we didn't jump and dive. That's a good way to do it. Now, that gives us access to the wall here, which we can run all the way along. For some reason, the walls are always safe. So go ahead and make it into this side room. Pop open the chest, grab your crown, and woo to the hoo-hoo. Now, on your way back, follow the wall again. This time, we're actually going to spend some monies. We're going to use the $30K that is currently the designated price line here. You know, over the few months that this game's been out, they have definitely adjusted a lot of those requirements, and most of them have gone in our favor, so that's good to know. Now, there happens to be a character swap box over here, so we're going to switch on over to Childs, who was not available for a quick grab, so we'll go back in. This is going to come in handy in a minute because we got an amber fossil that's on top of this little snow cat over here, but right behind it is a green proto chest that needs a little bit of help melting down. So jump and dive just to get across that dark spot and get up on top of the snow cat, which should be pretty easy. Grab that amber fossil, and this gets a little tricky right here. In fact, we actually dropped this thing here in a minute and had to do a big edit because it got stuck. And again, I didn't want to have to make you watch that, but I wanted to note it. So melt the ice, pop open the chest, and grab the orb, but be very careful in where you step. And you might even want to like place it out there. Now, I tried to jump over to the flare on the left and it did not work. And now it's sort of stuck. It will not let me pick it up. It's immediately dropping it because it's outside of the cold. Now, you can kind of work it back, but as you can see, I'm going into the dark zone. So there was a quick edit there. We're going to walk back over to the flare. That seemed to be the trick for me. And all the way back into this little room over here. We'll slam dunk it into the green proto machine, giving us another part towards another special soda. And that is actually going to wrap it up for this level, you guys. So not the best run. I feel like we could have done a little better, especially with the battery issue and the green proto part. But in the end, it was still a success. And hopefully it helped you guys find and grab all the things. So, booyah, ka-chow, we got it. Now we're going to go ahead and return to the factory, just like always, and get ready for the next level. At some point, we will. Anyways, once it, come on, load it, do it now, do it. All right, we're experiencing some technical difficulties here. Okay, there we go. Whew. All right, so we've officially finished up Bark in the Dark, and we'll go ahead and stand in our special place. And next up is the third level of the thing. So we got 3 more levels here, and then we got to drop down, and we'll have 6 more. So we're actually getting close to that home stretch, as we like to call it. But hey, guys, that's going to wrap it up for this one. Don't forget to smash that like button if you found this video helpful or maybe a little bit funny. I don't know. And we also have social media, HappyThumbsGaming.com. HTG merch is available too. HTGmerch.com, that is. But feel free to check it out. But for me, that's going to do it for now. As always, until next time.